Oh, yes, guys. Oh, yes. Welcome to 101 at 7. Today we are talking the top 10, my top 10 Tom Cruise films of all time. So I hope you guys are doing good tonight. Let's see what's going on. Let's bring up that old chat room, shall we? Let's bring up that old chat room and see what we got going on here. And we got Aaron Harris. Aaron Harris, hi. Remember to grab a drink and wash your hands before he starts. Yes, absolutely. Always wash your hands. It's very important to always wash your hands and make sure that you're completely sanitary, especially when you're talking about Tom Cruise. It's incredibly important. You have to be 100% sanitary. So very, very, very crucial. Also, we got Palmer in the chat room. What's going on, man? Don't worry, guys. I'm going to bring up what's going on with you guys as well, because clearly there's something going on with your name right over there. But we're going to let some other people roll on into the chat room. So how you guys been? It's what's today? Today's Sunday. I'm losing track of days, but I do go back to my day job tomorrow. Tomorrow I start my day job back up, and I'm incredibly frightened. It's a scary thing. It's very, very, very scary. Make sure that the chat room is actually working. Just go ahead and type something, either Aaron or Palmer. I just want to make sure that my chat room is working. Sometimes I've noticed that there can be like an issue with the chat room, and I'm not actually seeing current things happening in the chat room. You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure that that's the case, because if that is not the case, then I need to fix that before we get going here. Oh, just kidding. Alrighty. We got it working here. We got Ollie Mercer, the old faithful Ollie Mercer. What's going on? Hey, Eddie, how are you, dude? Doing good, man. How are you, man? Are you hanging in there? Because I know that the last live stream, you were telling me that you've been going through some stuff. So I hope you're doing better today, dude. Seriously, I really, really hope you're doing better today. Are you looking forward to Top Gun Maverick? Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna get into all of that. Okay, so this is going to be a Aaron, I see your thing over here. I'm going to talk about it in just a second. This is going to be an all-encompassing episode of Tom Cruise, as well as and Captain K-Bob. We got him in the chat room. I'm going to talk to you as well. I just want to make sure I get this out here. It's going to be an all-encompassing episode about Tom Cruise, and we're even going to do some Scientology talk. And then I'm kind of like, this is going to be pretty much for the foreseeable future, unless something happens in the chat room and someone brings it up. I'm not going to talk you guys to death about Scientology, but I wanted this episode to sort of be the thing that I can point people towards, you know what I mean? So I can be like, oh, okay, so you want to know how I feel about Scientology? Go check this out, because this is the sort of complete thoughts. So that's what we're going to do in this episode. So I will get to your question, Ollie. Don't worry, man. I will get to that question if I'm looking forward to Top Gun Maverick. Aaron says, I've been doing good. Random question. Have you tried Dunkin's butter pecan swirl in my iced coffee? It's fantastic. I did in previous years, but I haven't this time because I'm not that big of a fan of the butter pecan. So it's not something that when I saw that it was back, that I was clamoring for. So but that's great. Something that I do miss, like a flavor that I miss that I wish Dunkin' would bring back, is Oreo. Can you imagine if they brought back an Oreo flavor for iced coffee? Oh my gosh, that was my favorite. More than 3 years. That was like 5+ years ago, I think, that they did the whole Oreo swirl in your iced coffee. It's crazy, but it's a great flavor. Highly, highly, highly recommend that if it ever does come back, add that to your iced coffee. Captain K-Bob, you do have moderators. Very cool. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I wasn't lying. Yep. All right, so that's a perfect segue. We're going to talk about that for just a second. So I figured, since I'm doing more and more of these live streams, and these live streams are hopefully going to be reaching more people, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully more and more people find these live streams, this channel, and because I'm going to be doing these live streams pretty frequently, we're going to be doing moderators, and I wanted to get a few of them going right away. So, excuse me, I was thinking to myself, I was like, all right, who do I want as the first two? Because I think realistically, as the channel goes forward, I'm probably gonna have maybe like, I don't know, 5 or 6, maybe even a little bit more. So to start off, I figured 2 is pretty good, just in case one can't make it to a live stream. Maybe the other one can, and if the other one can't, then that's fine. So we do have Erin Harris as the very first one. I did reach out to her, and Palmer. Just because ladies first. Palmer is the second moderator, and they're a great team in real life. So I figured, and I trust them wholeheartedly with these live streams. So they're going to be moderators. And if you don't know what a moderator is, really quickly, basically, besides just really cool sticking out when they're in the chat room, they have that little wrench next to their name, so that makes them stand out. They basically have the ability, if I don't catch something in the chat room, they have the ability to monitor the chat room and make sure that everybody is cool. You know what I mean? And while I have Erin and Palmer watching, I wanted to let you guys know that, I trust you with your judgment, and I, believe that you guys are going to make, good calls in terms of if someone's being a dick in the chat room, giving them a warning or something along those lines. And then if they continue to persist, then kicking them out. So that's sort of the protocol. And really, I mean, at the end of the day, I think everybody has common sense when it comes to what is and isn't okay. So, if someone is being kind of snarky and maybe a little bit sarcastic, maybe keep your eye on them, but don't just immediately think that they're someone bad. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really hard to decipher what, intention someone has when they're just writing something. So that's just all I wanted to say, but I just wanted to congratulate. So let's go ahead and congratulate. Yes. Our very first 2 moderators. Yes, it's a big deal. We're making progress here at Eddie Green's 101. I also hope you guys enjoyed that intro. I try to customize it for every live stream. So that's what was going on there. And we're going to get into the top 10 my top 10 Tom Cruise films. But first, just a couple quick updates, because I did want to make sure that I cover everything in this particular live stream. The first thing is this is now officially, because I didn't have a name for this show, and I do consider this a show now. You know what I mean? So this now is officially called 101 at 7. And, even though I didn't technically start at 7, I think I started at like 7:04 or 7:05. That's the name of the show, 101 at 7. And I think it's a catchy name for a show. And I've retitled every previous live stream to 101 at 7. And that's what it's going to be going forward. So every live stream going forward is going to be scheduled at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless something comes up and I have to schedule it earlier or later. So, but going forward, that's going to be the idea. Everything is scheduled at 7. I even have it reminders for me. The first one at the very top, congratulate Erin. And I'm not talking about moderator status, although that is something to be congratulated for. Congratulate Erin, because in the last live stream, I meant to congratulate you in that one. And I had so many technical issues at the beginning that it completely, eclipsed my mind. And if that's the correct way to say that, Erin recently got accepted to Flagler College in St. Augustine, Florida. So that is also worthy of that. Congratulations, Erin. That's so cool. I love that school. Anytime I go to St. Augustine, I love just looking at that school, because it just reminds me of Hogwarts. Anytime I go down the street and I see it on the left, I'm just do 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 do. It's so cool. So that's so awesome that you got accepted to that. Excuse me. I believe you got accepted for something involved with film, right? So that's so cool. That's so cool that you're, pursuing that and you're making it happen. You're making it happen, and I'm sure your mom, Andrea, is very, very happy. So I just wanted to congratulate you formally here on the live stream. Also, what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Talk about the missing detail from Nicole's episode. Okay, so if you guys caught the last episode, the newest episode of the podcast with my sister, Nicole, if you listen to that episode, at the very beginning, I tell this story that my earliest memory of her being completely passionate about veganism is this story revolving around our father and him being at her wedding and holding up this sign. And I played it back just to, make sure everything sounded okay. And I realized I didn't even tell what was on that sign. And that's a really interesting little detail. So I just wanted to cover that here really quickly. My sister is 100% vegan. She's an advocate for plant-based diets. And back at her wedding in 2000, it was a completely vegan menu. And my father was not having that. He wasn't happy with that. So believe it or not, our father, my sister and I's father, got a sign. I don't know where he found it. I was like 8 years old. He got a sign and he wrote, "We want meat," on the sign, and he held it up at her wedding. And everybody pretty much at her wedding were people that were similar to Nicole, very, passionate about, veganism, advocacy, and all that stuff. So yeah, you can imagine that did not go over very, very well. So that's a little interesting detail that I completely forgot to include in the episode with my sister. So there we go. I included it here. I feel better. I got that off my chest. And finally, before we get going here, since I did do a top 10 game shows live stream, I wanted to quickly talk to you guys about something that I found out involving Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And this is the British version. So Ollie Mercer, if you're still in the chat room, this is the version over in the UK that was hosted by Chris Tarrant. And I finally watched it, so now I know who Chris Tarrant is, Ollie. But I had no clue that there was a fraud case that went on with an episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire involving this man. And damn it, I forget his name. Shit, but all you have to do is go on Google and type in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire fraud or whatever, and he'll pop up. And basically, long story short, because the entire episode now you can watch on YouTube on the official Who Wants to Be a Millionaire channel. So if you want to watch this, you can. Basically, the way he cheated, because he cheated at Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and the way he did that was he had someone in the audience, or not in the audience, in the fastest finger. So the people that are waiting for their chance to play, those people sitting around, one of those people was with him and was really apparently very, very, very smart. And anytime he was asked a question, right? So he would be asked, I don't know, a very stupid question like what US president is on the $1 bill, right? And then he has the 4 answers listed. What he would do is he would say, let's see here. Abraham Lincoln. And he would listen for a cough. Because if he heard a cough from the audience, which is a very inconspicuous thing, right? Someone's just coughing. And this was like back in 2001. The second he heard a cough, he knew that was the answer. So he would go, Abraham Lincoln. No, I don't think it's Abraham Lincoln. George Washington. George Washington, final answer. And he did that, and he won the top prize. Now, the thing about that is, right, people cough, right? People cough. But there's producers at Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? And they caught on to this over-excessive coughing, right? This person just kept coughing. And the other thing that gave him away was he would flip-flop between his answers. So he would go for like a really hard question. He would go with, I think it's this one. But he wouldn't hear a cough. And then he would say, but maybe it's this one. I'm going to go with this one. and he basically hung himself is what I'm getting at with this story. So it's an incredible thing that I had no clue happened with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and it's on the YouTube channel Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So just type that in and type in fraud, and the episode will pop up, and it's insane, but very clever, very, very clever. So I don't know if it's props or shame on you, but I just wanted to share that with you guys because I think that's a really interesting story. So anyways, those are all my notes aside. We'll put the phone over here, catch up on the chat room. There was a fucking Oreo flavor. Yes, there was a fucking Oreo flavor. And that's how you had to order it. Hi, I'll take a medium iced coffee, 3 cream, 1 liquid sugar, and fucking Oreo swirl. Aaron also says, it seems as though I can report a comment, remove a comment, put a user in timeout, and full-on hide a user from the channel. I trust everyone here is a good person, though that I won't have to use it. Yes. So far, everybody in the chat room is spot on. But like I said, as hopefully the channel continues to reach new people, trolls happen. And I can't always keep an eye on the chat room. So that's why moderators are a thing. That's why they're a thing. So I trust you guys. But that's very cool. Yeah, you can do all that stuff. So you have, free range to do all that stuff. But, remember what I said, use your common sense and judge it. Palmer also got accepted, by the way. I love Flagler College, and I've always thought it was beyond and always thought it was so beyond and wanted to go there. That's awesome. Palmer, you also get this, brother. Congratulations. Very, very, very cool. That's so cool, dude. That's so cool. And did you know Flagler College has Harry Potter Week every year around December? Also major in media production and minor in film studies. That's awesome. And no, I didn't know that, but it makes complete sense because that thing almost does look like, like if I were to describe, if I were to read the description from the Harry Potter books to a person and say, can you sketch this for me? That might be, assuming they haven't seen the films, that might be what they sketch, is what I'm saying. Very, very similar feel to Hogwarts Castle. Ollie says, thanks, really cool for the UK. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Yeah, I remember about that situation with the cheating. Yeah, it's a crazy scandal that I had no idea. But of course, being in quarantine and everything, I've been binging a lot of old episodes of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and that popped up. And I was like, interesting. Click. And then 40 some odd minutes later, I was blown away by how stupid and brave this man was. Captain K-Bob says, use it. Yeah, so he's talking to Aaron and Palmer. Use that ability. That is incredible. That's a power right there. You can get people out of here. Leaf Chapman, let's see who can get blocked first. Leaf Chapman might be the first person that gets blocked on this live stream. So Aaron, Palmer, keep your eye on Leaf Chapman. But what's going on, brother? Good to see you again. So guys, let's get into this, shall we? We've been procrastinating long enough. It is time to talk some Tom Cruise. So Eddie, you're anti-Scientology, right? Yeah, I am. How'd you know? Oh, because I talk about it a lot. Yes, I'm very much anti-Scientology. Eddie, why are you highlighting, arguably, not even arguably, the second most powerful person in Scientology and the most prolific celebrity that's ever been involved in Scientology? Why are you highlighting him? It's a good question. Let me answer that for you. Look, I have my feelings about Scientology, right? And I have my feelings about Tom Cruise. Those are not completely mutually exclusive, right? So just because he's in Scientology doesn't mean I immediately write him off. I don't immediately write Tom Cruise off. From here on out, and this goes back to Ollie's thing, asking about Top Gun Maverick. Am I excited for it? Yeah, absolutely. It looks incredible. Is it a sequel someone wanted? Maybe. It's not something, I never thought there needed to be a Top Gun 2, but hey, now there is, so sure. I'm not going to be seeing it in theaters. I'm not going to be seeing it in theaters. I'm not going to directly support Tom Cruise from here on out. I'm not going to be buying the Blu-ray directly from a store or online. If I ever do, it's going to be from a pawn shop, from a flea market, from a friend. You know what I mean? Indirectly. Okay, so that means I have a lot of Tom Cruise movies in my collection. I'm not getting rid of them. But from here on out, I'm not buying new movies that are brand new. You know what I mean? So I'm not directly supporting him. Having said that, I cannot say that this guy is not incredible because Tom Cruise is 100% incredible. Scientology or not, put aside Scientology. The guy's an incredible actor. He's been in so many iconic films. He's given so many iconic performances, and he's done a variety, right? So he's not this one note thing. And I think a lot of people think Tom Cruise is this pretty boy actor that just gets away with doing whatever the hell he wants. He has such an incredible career, and we're gonna talk about that in this episode. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Yes, I am anti-Scientology, but I'm also pro Tom Cruise to a degree. So having said all that, guys, obviously this is my top 10. Now, he has been in so many incredible movies. Obviously, I can't list them because I have to pick out of 10. And I guarantee the movies that are on your list, if you do have a Tom Cruise top 10 or just some favorite Tom Cruise movies, I guarantee you not every single one of those is on this list. I guarantee it. I've seen a lot of his movies. I think he has like 40 plus movies. I've seen roughly about half, give or take, of those films. So I feel pretty confident that this is a pretty solid list. Maybe down the road, if I see a few more of those films, maybe one or two of these will come off and be replaced by those. But I think this is a pretty solid list. So having said all of that, Leaf Chapman, Satan is a hell of a guy. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? He's just toying with us. He's poking us. That's what he's doing. But no, Leaf is cool. Leaf is cool. But keep your eye on him. Ooh, we got Demetris from Greece. Hey, Eddie, what's going on, Demetris? Good to see you. Glad you could tune in. Are you a Tom Cruise fan? Also, anybody watching, just type away, yes or no. Are you a Tom Cruise fan? Yes or no. That's all I want. I don't want some long-winded explanation. Yes or no. Are you a Tom Cruise fan? Aaron says, hey, buy a ticket for something you really want to support at the theater, but go to the Maverick screening instead. You get to see what you want, but your dollars go to something better. Or that. I didn't even think about that. See, Aaron, this is why I'm happy you're a moderator, because not only do you monitor the chat room, you give great suggestions. I never even thought about that. That's a good idea. Yeah, I think Top Gun Maverick is a movie that you should see in a theater, arguably, right? I mean, that's just something you should do. It's a movie made for a theater, so that's a great idea. That's something that I might do. I might consider whenever it comes out. I think it's coming out now in December, right? So we'll see. We'll see. Ollie says yes. Palmer says yes. Captain K-Bob says yes. Aaron says love him in Magnolia. Hate the guy. There we go. All right. So we have a pretty... It seems like we're all in favor of Tom Cruise, right? And also, if you're watching after the fact, if you didn't catch this live, write down in the comments, are you a fan of Tom Cruise or not? So here we go, guys. I don't do honorable mentions. You know how I feel about honorable mentions. I think I only did that for the game shows top 10. From here on out, no honorable mentions. No honorable mentions. Demetra says, good, Eddie. Tomorrow, my friend's father is out of the hospital at last. Awesome. And I like Tom Cruise. I like how you said, I like Tom Cruise. I don't love him. I don't hate him. I like him. I like the guy. I like the guy too. And that's awesome that your friend's father is out of the hospital. Yeah, it seems like this whole COVID-19 thing is definitely loosening up. So, but we got to watch out for that resurgence, right? So we got to obviously continue with what we've been practicing, right? So that's going to be the real test. But we're not here to talk about COVID-19. We're here to talk Tom Cruise. So here we go, guys. Obviously, I've assembled my cards, so we can be a little more interactive that way. Alrighty, and I've also included, really quickly, I've included on these cards, I've included the Rotten Tomatoes scores because, look, it's not like Rotten Tomatoes is the end-all be-all, but it is a very popular way to determine if a film is worthy of watching. So I figured it would be fun to include the Rotten Tomatoes scores on these films, just so you guys know where it falls. Because number 10 is not a very popular film. So here we go, guys. Are you ready? And we also have a new sound effect. I did install the drum roll sound effects, so I'm excited. Here we go, guys. At number 10 on my top 10 Tom Cruise films. Drum roll, please. That is right. Number 10 is Cocktail. And if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes, This thing, now granted, it's only 43 reviews, but out of those 43 reviews, 5% liked this movie. This is one of the lowest rated movies on Rotten Tomatoes. It's called Cocktail. It's from the 80s. And this is definitely not going to be on anybody's top 10 Tom Cruise list, except for mine. I just love this film. It's one of those so bad it's good kind of things. And the story is so melodramatic, is so just whatever. The thing I love about this film the most is the bartending scenes, because Tom Cruise, like you'll hear me say a lot, believes so much in his profession that he actually, if he has to play a bartender, he will learn how to bartend. And some of the stuff that he does in this film with flipping bottles around and just being all flashy, it's incredible. It is so incredible how flashy he is. That is Cocktail. That is my number 10. I mean, there's really not a lot that I can say about this film. Yes, it's horrible. It is absolutely horrible. And that's why it's at number 10. But it's one of those, like I said, so bad it's good. It's a guilty pleasure for me. And I needed to put it on this list because I remember checking it out a while back, knowing that not a lot of people like this film. And I walked away thinking, all right, yeah, maybe that movie was pretty bad. But you know what? Tom Cruise was very, very flashy. He was very charismatic. And again, the bartending scenes are the best part of this whole film. And there's a lot of them in it. So it's one of those things where after it, you almost want to learn how to bartend. And then you really start thinking about it and you're like, nah, screw that. I'm not gonna learn how to bartend. So that is, let me see here. That is number 10 right there. I love Cocktail. I love Cocktail so much. Let's go to the chat room, see what you guys are saying. Palmer says, I've heard Cruise depicted as a consummate professional by crew members over the years. Never a particularly friendly guy, though. Yeah, that's something that I have heard as well, where he's very in the zone. You know what I mean? He is locked in. He does not fuck around. He takes his stuff so seriously, and it can come off dickish. Very dickish. So I have heard that as well. Demetra says, thank you very much. Cocktail, according to Oliver, is underrated. I would agree, man. I would agree. I think a lot of people hate on it. And look, it's not going to change your life, but it is a very enjoyable movie. And if you're in quarantine, it's a movie that's, hey, put it on. It's enjoyable. Just check it out. Demetra says, I haven't seen it yet. You should check it out. It's from the 80s. It's so 80. It's crazy how 80 that film is. But that is number 10. Alrighty, guys. Number 9. And again, similar to the last live stream, once we get to the top 5, so after number 6, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to continue on. So I think doing the break is fun, and it's a good way to break up the stream. So coming in at number 9 on my top 10 Tom Cruise, can we have another drum roll, please? Tropic Thunder. That is right, Tropic Thunder. This is a movie that doesn't even technically star Tom Cruise. He's very much a supporting character. But Jesus Christ, what a supporting character he is in this film. And that's why Tropic Thunder has to be on this list. The movie Tropic Thunder is actually really good. It's directed by Ben Stiller, also starring Ben Stiller, Jack Black. And to the right there, that is Robert Downey Jr. I'm sure most of you know that, but if you didn't, that's Robert Downey Jr. in blackface. And fun little side note, he was recently on Joe Rogan's podcast, and they talked about how pretty likely today you wouldn't be able to make Tropic Thunder. He came out in just the right time, because of how sensitive the culture is now, and it would be really hard to put a white man in as a black guy, and so it came out at just that right time. But this movie is so funny. It's such a dark comedy, and I love it so much. But Tom Cruise's character is arguably the highlight of this film. And he plays this, real just awful Hollywood producer. that loves to dance. That's all I'm going to say. If you have not seen Tropic Thunder, what's his name? It's Les Grossman or something like that. It is so insane. He's balding. He's got like a million chains around his neck. He is just, I mean, the song that he dances to is that T-Pain song, is that Flow Rida song, Low. You know, Shawty got low, low, low. That's, to give you an idea of when this movie came out, that's sort of like the popular song at the time. So he dances to that, and that's one of the famous scenes from this film. But this film is just so good in general. I mean, clearly it is certified fresh. It's a big bump up from Cocktail. Certified fresh at 82% with 244 reviews. So definitely recommend checking out Tropic Thunder if you have not seen it yet. That is another great Tom Cruise film. What do we got going on here in the chat room? Aaron says Tom Cruise in Magnolia is basically playing himself, to be honest. Interesting assessment. If Magnolia is on my list, I will talk about it. If it's not, we're not going to talk about Magnolia a whole lot. But we'll see if it's on the list. Demetrius, I agree. Good film. Yes. What do you guys think? So, obviously, that's a clip right there. It sounds like I'm choking or having a stroke. Obviously, if you guys want to, as I'm going through my top 10 list, whatever your top 10 is, that's a option. Or if you just want to talk about the film, sort of like Demetrius is doing, I agree. Good film. Give me your thoughts and opinions around the film. I think it's a cool way to be interactive. Ollie says it's a classic. Yeah, Tropic Thunder is, you could argue it's a modern classic. It's that good, Palmer, I'm curious if The Color of Money makes it in here. Ooh, The Color of Money from Martin Scorsese. Yes, I do love me some pool. I do love playing pool. So, is it? I don't know. Alrighty, guys. We're going to try to power through this because I don't know if you remember the last live stream. Man, by the end of that thing, my throat was like shot. So we're going to try to keep this a little bit of a tighter live stream. So here we go. We're going on with, what is it, number 8. And this is another very divisive film that I don't think would be on a lot of people's top 10 list, but it is on mine. So let's get that drum roll going. Number 8, Rock of Ages. All I can say, so if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes, you can see right there, 42% out of like over 200 reviews. Not a very popular film. This is from the same director as the John Travolta, Zac Efron, Nikki Blonsky, Queen Latifah, Hairspray, Adam Shankman. This movie, I love this movie. This is something that's called a jukebox musical. So basically, it's not original music. It's a lot of it is from like Foreigner and Journey and Don't Stop Believin', Don't Stop, all that stuff. But they take that music and they create a story around it, and that's what a jukebox musical is. And Tom Cruise, front and center right there, plays Stacey Jax, who is this rock star that maybe has, reached his peak. And it's just such an interesting role from Tom Cruise. I really enjoy this film altogether, but obviously we're, highlighting Cruise, so I'm going to talk a lot about Cruise. This film gave us a singing Tom Cruise, like a full-on singing Tom Cruise with long hair. I love the soundtrack to this film. I multiple times a day, if I'm driving, I will put on the Rock of Ages soundtrack and I will, rock out to, Paradise City. Take me down to the Paradise City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Or the one that Tom Cruise does that I love is I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. He sings incredible. And this is something that I want to really point out is, again, people just write off Tom Cruise as this pretty boy, but he actually has a really good voice, especially for this role of Stacey Jax. And I just love, the songs that he sings in this. He sings, I want to know what love is. I want to know what love is. It's so good. It's so cheesy. it's I mean, I just love him so much in this film. The fact that it gave us a singing, rocking out Tom Cruise with long hair and sort of like a ripped, chest. You know what I mean? Like he has like a six pack and everything. So I mean, he goes full on rock and roll in this film. So if you love rock and roll, I think Rock of Ages might be for you. Although I do understand it is not a popular film. A lot of people write it off. But let's see what you guys are saying. In the chat room, Captain K-Bob, looking forward to playing pool with the geese again. Yeah, dude. Once that pool hall opens up, oh, man, we're definitely heading back. We're definitely heading back. Where we live in town, for anybody that's watching and doesn't know what we're talking about, there's a pool hall not that far from here where my friends and we get together and we, shoot pool and shoot the shit. So obviously it's been closed down, but once that thing reopens, we're definitely heading back there. Let's see here. Aaron says, I believe I probably can guess your number one. I mean, feel free to leave your guess in the chat room. Let me know what you think might be my number one. Also, Aaron says, you haven't said yet, will there be a bathroom break midway through like the last live stream? Yes, I did say it, but I'll say it again. Yes, there is. Once we get past number 6, we are going to take a couple-minute break. So if you guys need that, that is coming. Stay tuned. Ollie says, I wonder if A Few Good Men and Jerry Maguire is on this list. Ooh, another. I mean, that's the thing with Tom Cruise, that when I was going through his filmography, I was like, wow, this guy has been in incredible films, a lot of them. And it was really hard to kind of narrow it down to just 10. So definitely very tricky. And then, of course, look, we got spam from Leaf Chapman, Eddie Blue, Eddie Red, Eddie Yellow, Eddie Brown, Eddie Purple. Dude, that gets this. Congratulations. Keep your eyes on him, guys. So yes, all right, here we go. We're trucking through this thing, guys. We are at number 7. Alrighty, number 7. This might appease somebody in the chat room. Just left a comment. Drum roll, please. Number 7, Ollie called it A Few Good Men. I just love this wallpaper. I mean, look at that. I mean, if you want to call it a wallpaper, I love it so much. Arguably the classic is the poster that you see right there with the Rotten Tomatoes, where you have all 3 characters kind of lined up. But I love this one where you have Tom Cruise on the left and Jack Nicholson on the right. This movie is incredible. This movie is incredible. Written by the amazing Aaron Sorkin, who also wrote The Social Network, Steve Jobs, that movie Steve Jobs with Michael Fassbender, an incredible writer. He also did what the hell is it called? That is it HBO or something like that? The Newsroom with Jeff Daniels. I think that's Jeff Daniels, right? Yeah. He also wrote that show. So this guy's an incredible writer. This movie is adapted from the same play that Aaron Sorkin wrote. It's a courtroom drama that involves Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson, and one thing with Tom Cruise is he has been in so many iconic films with so many iconic lines, and A Few Good Men has one of the most popular catchphrases or lines in a movie of all time, where in sort of like the climactic scene of the film, Tom Cruise is I don't know what the correct word is in courtroom lingo, but it basically interrogating Jack Nicholson's character. I think that's how, right? It's basically like an interrogation, but I don't know what it's called, like a prosecutor, or I don't know what it is. But they go back and forth between yelling, and Tom Cruise is trying to get Jack Nicholson to admit the truth. I mean, that's the thing, right? And so Jack Nicholson says, "What do you want?" And Tom Cruise yells, "I want the truth." And Jack Nicholson comes back with, "You can't handle the truth." And it's so fucking good, this movie. Oh, it's so, I mean, you're just going to hear that all throughout. It's so good. It's so good. But I mean, Tom Cruise, he was, this is like early 90s, I believe. So he's, baby face Tom Cruise, but he definitely holds his own against one of the biggest screen legends of all time in Jack Nicholson. And obviously, a lot of people love this film. It has an 83% from the critics and an 89% from the audience. So this is a very, very good film. If you love courtroom dramas, I mean, it's one of the best. I mean, it's hard to find a good courtroom drama. You know, you have To Kill a Mockingbird, you have 12 Angry Men. A modern one is A Few Good Men. So let's see what you guys are saying. Let's see what Ollie's saying. Let's see here. Let's see here. We gotta go up here. Message deleted by Aaron Harris. Leaf, it happened, man. I told you, man. I don't know. Wasn't me. Trying to get put in user timeout. Oh, okay. Leaf Chapman. Captain K-Bob, timeout. There we go. Palmer says, how about Eddie Cyan? And then Aaron says, Eddie Periwinkle? Eddie Burgundy? I love it. And I love how it just keeps saying Leaf Chapman, message deleted. I love that. Eddie Salmon, which now I know is pink, a shade of pink, thanks to Mouse Tracks. Man, I've been meaning to watch The Newsroom for so long, says Palmer. A Few Good Men, too. Yeah. I've never seen The Newsroom, but I hear amazing things about it. So it's all Aaron Sorkin. I mean, he's one of the best screenwriters in the business. So Captain K-Bob, Eddie Black, Leaf Chapman, message deleted. Aaron Sorkin is so fucking great at his job. It blows my mind. Seriously, right? Like his dialogue. I mean, that's one of his things, right? That's one of his standout things. He writes dialogue that usually is very quick, right? Like there's not a lot of fat in an Aaron Sorkin script, right? It's all necessary shit. And he doesn't fuck around. And A Few Good Men is a perfect example of that. I mean, that is a beautifully paced film in terms of telling its story, getting its message across, and delivering compelling performances. And it's been said a lot, and I'm going to say it here. Probably the most important thing on a film, besides the actual camera itself, because without the camera, you don't have a movie, is the script. Because if you don't have a good script, what do you have, right? So you got to have a good script before anything else. Captain K-Bob, Eddie White, Leaf Chapman was timed out by Aaron for 300 seconds. Ooh, shit. Things are getting serious in this first one. Damn. Demetrius, on my top 10, too. Also a great patriotic score by composer Mark Scheiman. Yeah. It's great. It's so good. And I think it's one of the, I don't want to say forgotten gems, but it's, again, I think because he's made so many great films, I think this is one that maybe ends up in like a top 15 or a 20, because it's not action-packed. Let me just say, it is not action-packed by any means, right? It's very dialogue heavy. So if you don't like just people talking all the time, definitely not your movie. And I think that's why it ends up, not on everyone's top 10. Captain K-Bob, yes. How long does the timeout last? 300 seconds, I believe. Aaron says, we testing it out, boys. I didn't think it would delete your comments when I timed you out, though. Timeouts last for 300 seconds. He did ask to be put in, to be fair. Ooh, and then look here, not Leaf Chapman. Guys, it's not Leaf Chapman, okay? It's not Leaf Chapman. Don't worry, it's not Leaf Chapman. I'm back, bitches. Ollie says, I believe A Few Good made Tom Cruise and delivered. Oh, okay, so you believe A Few Good Men made Tom Cruise. Interesting. Yeah. When did A Few Good Men come out? Was that 1992? Let me see here. Or maybe you guys can, in the chat room, let me know. See who gets there first. When did it come out? Because Tom Cruise, it's really hard to say because a lot of people, I'm not looking, I think it came out in 92. A lot of people would say that Risky Business was that breakout, right? And then Top Gun was the movie that made Tom Cruise. But that's an interesting assessment, Ollie, that you think A Few Good Men made Tom Cruise. Interesting. I mean, who am I to say you're wrong, right? No one's wrong. There is no right or wrong answer. Aaron Harris, Leaf Chapman, type something when you're out of timeout. Thanks for taking one for the team and letting us test out the feature. I'm definitely not Leaf Chapman. The timeout is at this point less than 5 minutes left. I think I know who one of your moderators are. Ooh, interesting. That's from Captain K-Bob. Palmer says, interesting take. I feel like Tom Cruise was pretty well established, though, personally. Yeah, okay, yeah. So, yeah, you agree with me. Yeah, I think he had a lot of success before A Few Good Men. So, it's maybe the correct way to say it was Risky Business was the breakout role, right? Was that movie that was like, whoa, hold on. Who's this guy? Tom Cruise? Top Gun was the one that was like, holy fuck, Tom Cruise. And then maybe you could say A Few Good Men solidified him, right? So breakout, star, solidified, right? Because just because you're a star doesn't mean that you're always going to be a star. Maybe you could say A Few Good Men solidified him as one of the all-time best. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see here. Leaf Chapman, Mom, can I come out of timeout? 1992. Thank you, Ollie, for confirming that. I wanted to be the first. Y'all ever take the time to make a brand new account with a brand new email just for a meme? That is dedication, Leaf. Thank you, dude. Seriously. Like, I'm not being like sarcastic. Like that. Yeah, seriously. Like, you just created an entirely new account just to do that. So that's awesome, dude. I really I don't know if I appreciate that or what, but I think that's really cool. So thanks, man. All right, guys, let's go on. One more, and then we're gonna take like a 2 or 3 minute break, pee break. So here we go. We are on to number 6. Can I get a drum roll? Steven Spielberg's Minority Report. Oh boy. Alrighty. So since we're talking Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise, let me just say they made 2 films together so far. They have collaborated on 2 films. They have collaborated on Minority Report and then followed by War of the Worlds. And out of those 2, Minority Report is not only the better film, it's my personal favorite out of the 2. War of the Worlds is a movie that I grew up on and I sort of liked. And then upon a rewatch in my later years, I realized how flawed it is as a film. And I much prefer the older versions, and the Orson Welles radio drama is so much better than their version. Not to take anything away. So that's why I wanted to include on that thumbnail that I created for this episode. That's why you'll see like that little version of Tom Cruise that's from War of the Worlds. And I wanted, something where the whole point of that is that he's looking up at the text that says my top 10 Tom Cruise films and looking scared or whatever. That's where I was able to get that from. That comes from War of the Worlds. Fun fact, War of the Worlds is not on this list, so that might be a spoiler, but Minority Report is. I love the concept of Minority Report. If you're not familiar with it, I'm just going to give you the basic thing here, no spoilers. In the future, people, we as a society have the ability in law enforcement, right? So law enforcement has the ability to know ahead of time, right? So it's like premonitions, essentially. We know when crimes are going to be committed. So we can actually be there, right? We can be there to stop the crime, right? That's the whole point of the film, from my memory. I mean, I haven't seen this film in a little while, but I remember that's sort of the basic premise, is that we know when crimes are going to be happening, so we can sort of maybe interject. But of course, everything doesn't go as planned, and the people that make the premonitions, they reveal that it's revealed that at some point during the movie, Tom Cruise's character, who works for the law enforcement, is going to commit a murder. And that's where the movie takes off. So that's all you have to know. If that sounds intriguing to you, check it out. It's a very underrated Steven Spielberg film. Obviously, people love this one. 90% from the critics, 80% from the audience. It's very smart, action-packed. Tom Cruise, something that we're going to talk a lot about, but more after I give all my films. We're going to talk about the interesting career of Tom Cruise and the fact that, I'll save it for them, but we're going to talk a little bit about Tom Cruise's career at the end of this list. But I love Minority Report. It is a phenomenal science fiction film. Highly, highly recommended that you check that one out. Like I said, very underrated from Steven Spielberg. You might not see that on a Steven Spielberg top 10 list. You know what I mean? He's made so many great films, so I feel like Minority Report would be left right off, but it's incredible. It's incredible. It also got turned into like some crappy TV series, so only watch the film with Tom Cruise. Let's see here. Captain K-Bob, I've been wanting to watch War of the Worlds again. I barely remember watching it and being terrified as a kid. Yeah. As a kid, it definitely freaks you the fuck out because, you know, that is what it's supposed to do. And I think one of the coolest scenes from that film is, I don't know if you guys remember, but it's basically at the beginning of the attack when they're running away. There's this great shot of we're following the van that Tom Cruise's character is in. We're following it, right? And we can see behind the van, we can see like the highway because he lives close to the highway. We can see this highway and the laser or whatever from one of the aliens hits it and it fucks that entire thing up. And the entire highway basically gets flipped and we're following it in like a continuous shot. And all of a sudden this tanker truck that was on the highway that got flipped into the air comes crashing down and explodes. It is an incredible shot. It's one of my favorites. It's been burned into my brain ever since I saw that film. Definitely one of the best moments of the film, but overall, War of the Worlds is not a good film. So check it out, rewatch it, and you'll see what I'm saying. Especially, I mean, that movie gets hated on a lot for the ending being very, very shitty, and I agree. Demetrius says, also on my top 10, great John Williams score. Interesting, Demetrius. So seems like you and I have some similar tastes going on here. And then Palmer says, I need to see both the original and the Spielberg remake. Palmer, I had no clue that was a remake. What is the original? What's the original called? Is it also called Minority Report or is it something else? Because I know that it's from the author Philip K. Dick, who did Total Recall and Blade Runner, right? He also was the author of Blade Runner, A Scanner Darkly from Richard Linklater. So interesting that there was an original, and I had no clue. But tell me what the name is so I can, you know, maybe I've heard of it, and it's just not even called Minority Report. Hoping and praying the Mummy remake is nowhere to be found on your list. I don't know. The only spoiler I'm giving away is that War of the Worlds is not on this list. Palmer says I meant War of the Worlds. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, yeah. The original is Where It's At, as well as the Orson Welles radio drama. Incredible stuff. Like, so far ahead of its time. And the Spielberg remake is, I think it's pretty bad, though. And then Leaf Chapman says, Eddie, I dare you to shave everything but the handlebar mustache for the first day of work. I dare you to shave everything but the handlebar mustache. Oh, okay, so you want me to shave all this, but leave this? That's what you want me to do for the first day of work? It won't make a... You know what? I will do that. Because guess what? I get to wear a mask. So it's not like it's going to be very noticeable. I'll do that. Yep. I'll shave everything but my handlebar mustache. You got it, man. Alrighty, guys. So that is the first of the top 10. So quick recap before we go to break for just a couple minutes. We have number 10, Cocktail. Number 9, Tropic Thunder. Number 8, Rock of Ages. Number 7, A Few Good Men. And number 6, Minority Report. Alrighty, guys. So we're going to take a quick break. Talk amongst yourselves in the chat room. Get something to drink. Go take a crap if you have to. Or keep watching this while you're taking a crap. It doesn't matter to me. Always make sure you're wiping front to back, unless we're not going to go there. But do whatever you guys got to do. I'm gonna go take a number 1 because I definitely have to. I've been drinking a lot of water, and I will be back in just a few moments. Also, enjoy this "Be Right Back" card that I assembled for you guys. I think it's pretty cool. I think you'll get a good laugh out of it. So we'll be right back in just a few minutes. Holy moly, we are back, guys. Did you guys enjoy that? Tell me if you enjoyed that. I thought that was a pretty cool little thing to put there because obviously there's a lot of breakdown and breakdancing that Tom Cruise has done throughout his career. So I thought that would be a fun little thing to do, just showing him kind of losing his mind. Obviously, he had that whole thing of jumping on Oprah's couch and whatnot. So, I mean, the guy's nuts. He's great, but he's nuts. So while I was away, you guys definitely talked amongst yourselves. So, Jesus, let's see. I got to scroll up here. Leaf says, yes, the fucking goat. Can't wait. Yeah, dude. You seriously, you have my word here on this live stream. Everything will be gone but the mustache. Just for that one day. I ain't keeping it, but I will do that for one day. While we're on break, everyone should send their personal lists. Thank you, Aaron. See, this is one of the reasons why you're a moderator, because you're interactive with the chat. That's what a good moderator is, not just someone that just kind of sits back and monitors. You're interactive with the chat. That's what I love about you, as well as Palmer. You guys are a great team. So, Leaf Chapman, who else pooping? I gotta say, I think I have the next 5 pegged. Don't know what order you'll put them in. Ooh, Palmer. Ooh, he thinks he knows. I'm curious if you're right. That's what I'm really curious about. Aaron says mine is literally just Magnolia because that's the only one I've seen of Cruise's. Interesting. That's crazy. You've avoided every other Tom Cruise movie. How? Not even one Mission Impossible? That's crazy. Captain K-Bob, I'm not that big of a fan of Tom Cruise, but Top Gun is my favorite. Interesting. Top Gun. Definitely, I guess you're definitely looking forward to Maverick, Top Gun Maverick. Eyes Wide Shut, personally. Oh, is that like your favorite from Tom Cruise, Palmer? Cool. Leaf, I'm eating dinner, definitely not pooping. Well, Aaron, you will be pooping at some point. Captain K-Bob, he's also great in Austin Powers, which I highly doubt would make it on Ed's list. He is great as Austin Powers in Austin Powers and Goldmember. If you can't multitask, you're fucking up, bud. Which Austin Powers? Goldmember. He's in it for a whole minute. Yeah. Love the Be Right Back card with Tom dancing gifts. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. Yes, I thought that was, and obviously you need the risky business thing where he slides. So, yeah, I'm trying to, make it more, customized and everything for each live stream. Ollie says, did you know the original actors of War of the Worlds are in the remake? So I'm not sure if it's a remake or a sequel. No, Ollie, it is a remake because those are not the same characters. As far as I know, like they're not the actual same characters. But yes, the original actor and maybe the actress, I think, end up at the end of the film as like the grandparents or whatever. And it's a nice little nod. But I don't think the remake is a sequel. I think it's just a remake. I'll be honest if I turn out to be right or not. Oh, okay. So you don't want to reveal it, but I trust you, Palmer. So interesting. Here we go, guys. We're not stalling any longer. We're gonna get into my number 5. Here we go. Let me pull it up here. Oh, there it is, right there. Number 5. This is a biggie. All right, so we're getting into the top 5 here. Then this is a classic right here. So here we go. Get that drum roll going. Jerry motherfucking Maguire. That is right. Ah, man. So if you guys follow me on social media, which if you're not, what the hell are you doing? Get on it. All the social media links are in the description below. On Instagram, kind of promoting this live stream, I pulled up some of the iconic songs from his films. And arguably the most iconic film from any Tom Cruise film is Tom Petty's Free Fallin', right? Yeah, I'm free falling. And that comes from this movie. So like, I think, all right, so this is something that's interesting about Tom Cruise. He's done a lot. And okay, so Jerry Maguire is, you talk about a catchphrase movie or like a movie with multiple iconic lines. Jerry Maguire is one of the all-timers because so many iconic lines come from this film. But there's that iconic scene where he's driving, right? And he's singing Free Fallin', and he is just letting it go. He is in such a good mood. He is just losing his mind. So excited. You have that. You have what was at the beginning of this live stream, where in the PSA, I was like, now is the time to show me the money. And then, of course, it just keeps going on from there. So if you're not familiar with that scene, oh my God, it's so good. I love black people. Show me the money. Come on, Jerry. Come on, Jerry. I want to hear it in your hips, man. Show me the money. Oh my God, this movie is so good. And then, of course, there is the iconic, right? Two iconic lines when it comes to romantic lines is "You complete me." That comes from Jerry Maguire, as well as Renee Zellweger saying, "You had me at hello." That comes from Jerry Maguire, as well as so Free Fallin', Show Me the Money, You Complete Me, You Had Me at Hello, as well as what's the other one? What is the other one? Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to go back to the chat room. Does anyone else know the one other iconic line from Jerry Maguire that I have not listed? So I've listed Free Fallin', even though that's not a line, but that's an iconic moment. Free Fallin', Show Me the Money, You Had Me at Hello, You Complete Me, as well as what's the other one? What's the other one? I'm waiting on the chat room. Does anyone know what's the other really super duper iconic line? Let's see. I am looking at the chat room. And taking a swig of water. Leaf. Laughing my ass off. The next 5 are Mission Impossible 1 through 5. Oliver. Oh, okay. Fair play to the War of the Worlds originals. Yes, Jerry Maguire is brilliant. Yes, yes, yes. Anybody know, though? Because I know there's a delay. Goddamn delay. Anybody in the chat room know? What's that other iconic line? Give you guys a couple more seconds, and then I'm just going to reveal it in case no one knows. And this is a big one. This is a big line. Very much, I mean, I use it a lot. I use it a lot in my life. Aaron says, I have no idea. No one else? No one else is playing? No? No? Captain K-Bob, show me what you got. I want to see what you got. No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. I mean, there's a lot of other ones, but this one is like the big one. You know what I mean? All right, guys, here it is. Are you ready? So we have Free Fallin'. We have You Complete Me. We have You Had Me at Hello. We have Show Me the Money. And we also have Help Me Help You. That also comes from Jerry Maguire. Now, this movie is so good. I mean, it's one of the all-timers. Like, of course it has to be in a top 10 Tom Cruise. I mean, he's never won Best Actor, as far as I know, at the Oscars. As far as I know, he's never actually won. But this was, I believe, his first Academy Award nomination for Best Actor in Jerry Maguire. And, I mean, rightfully so. Jesus Christ. And clearly, look at that Rotten Tomatoes score, 83-79. It's just, it's such a fun movie. It's such a uplifting movie, you know? I mean, there's very serious moments from time to time, but it's one of the all-time greatest romantic comedies ever made. And that is why it is my number 5. So let's take a quick peek at the chat room, see if you guys are saying anything. Shit on the floor. No, I don't know. Is that in the movie? I don't remember that one. Or maybe you're just being trolly. I don't know. Here we go, guys. We're on to number 4. We're not fucking around with this shit. We're powering through this. Number 4. Let's get that drum roll. Thank you so much, Mr. Drumroll Man. Number 4 is Edge of Tomorrow. This is a big surprise of a film. And first of all, it is called Edge of Tomorrow. Anyone that calls this Live, Die, Repeat, you can go fuck off, okay? You can go live, die, and not repeat, okay? It is called Edge of Tomorrow, okay? Because that's what it originally released as, and then the studio was like, we don't know if we like that. Let's call it Live, Die, Repeat, because that's original. Live, Die, Repeat? And this is the thing that worries me. There's supposedly a sequel coming out to this movie, and supposedly the title is called Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat. And I'm just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Hopefully, I mean, I'm all for a sequel to this movie because I love this movie. This is one of those films that deal with living the same day over and over and over and over and over again. But it's utilized in a very unique fashion with this whole kind of this is almost like War of the Worlds, right? So it's the world, and then we're being attacked by this alien race. But Tom Cruise has the ability to live the same day over and over again and sort of, add different pieces to the puzzle and figure out what he has to do to defeat this, extraterrestrial race. It sounds very generic, but trust me, it is not. And it has a standout performance. Yes, I know we're talking Cruise. Bill Paxton is incredible in this film. Emily Blunt, holy shit, is she gorgeous? She is badass. She kills it in this film. A lot of people think she steals this from Tom Cruise, and I would not necessarily disagree with you. I mean, she is amazing in this film. Emily Blunt, wow. Edge of Tomorrow, it is so smart. It is action-packed. It is so funny. That's the thing, like when he starts dying, he dies in like really funny, kind of gruesome, macabre, dark comedy ways. It's so good. I mean, look, 90/90. Jesus Christ. Edge of Tomorrow. There's just nothing else I can say about it except for I want to see what you guys are saying in the chat room. So let's go over there, shall we? If you're not Leaf Chapman, you're trash. Super weird marketing on this one. Yeah. Exactly, dude. Right? Like, so confusing. Why did it was Warner Brothers, right? Why did Warner Brothers do that? Like, what, you don't think Edge of Tomorrow sounds okay? Live, Die, Repeat? No, that just sounds like a third grader came up with it. Not Leaf Chapman. So this is interesting. Leaf Chapman and Not Leaf Chapman are both interacting in the same exact thing. Demetrius, on my top 10. Another one, dude. Clever film and my favorite score from Christopher Beck. Yeah, so good. We have a lot in common, Demetrius, I'm finding out. Ollie says, I wonder if Vanilla Sky's on this list. Vanilla Sky, yeah. So that's also from the same director, Cameron Crowe. So him and Tom Cruise made Jerry Maguire and Vanilla Sky. And it might be on the list, might not be on the list. Let's find out if it is, right? Let's get to the top 3, guys. We're in the top 3. Whew. Have you noticed that there's a lot missing from this list that you thought might be on this list? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard with a Tom Cruise list. So here we go. Number 3, I don't know. I feel like some people would have this on their list, and then some people don't even know about this movie, and then some people would not have it on their list. So, Mr. Drumroll Man, can I please get a drumroll? Hey, thank you. Can I please get a drumroll? Thanks. Number 3, Collateral. Now, this is one of the very few times where Tom Cruise plays a villain. And you could say that he's a villain in Tropic Thunder. You could argue that. But, I mean, like a serious villain. You know what I mean? Like in a serious movie. This is one of the few times. And just look at the guy. Okay, so just look at the guy. This movie, the opening shot of this movie is literally in slow motion, a giant crowded place. I think it's an airport. It's a crowded airport of people just walking in slow motion everywhere. And then in the middle, all of a sudden, Tom Cruise comes out of nowhere and is walking in that suit with that silver hair, just walking like a motherfucking badass, right? And he's in slow motion. And then he puts on a pair of shades and he's walking and he's walking. So fucking badass, okay? I got to talk a lot about this film. I love this movie. That's Jamie Foxx you see right there. Fun fact, Jamie Foxx, so Collateral came out the same year for Jamie Foxx as the movie Ray, where he plays Ray Charles. And he's one of the few actors that has ever received 2 Academy Award nominations. And I believe, he only won for Ray. I think he won for Ray. But he received a Best Actor nomination for Ray. And then at the same exact ceremony, he received a Best Supporting Actor for Collateral. One of the very few people to do it. And honestly, I'm not taking anything away from Jamie Foxx's performance. It's great. I have no clue why Tom Cruise was not nominated that year. He was amazing as Vince. That's his character's name. So basically, if you've never seen this film, let me just quickly tell you what it's about. Jamie Foxx plays a taxi driver in LA, I believe is where it takes place. And Tom Cruise is a hitman. And he has to go around to 5 spots in this one night, and he has to do his hits. He has to kill these people. And he gets in Jamie Foxx's taxi, and he makes him take him to these 5 spots, and then shit just goes south from there. You know what I mean? That's the basic premise. And there's a scene in this movie, guys, let me just say really quickly, there is a scene in this movie where Tom Cruise loses his briefcase, and he has so he's exited the taxi and he's tied Jamie Foxx up so that Jamie Foxx can't leave, right? And he goes and tries to do his hit. He loses his briefcase in doing so, and these like LA thugs or whatever see Jamie Foxx, asking for help, right? And Jamie Foxx is like, help me, man, help me. And they come over, right? And they pick up the briefcase and they're like, yo, man, like they're very, stereotypical thugs in LA. They're like, yo, man, you need help? Man, fuck you, man. We're just going to take you. Yeah, we're just going to take your briefcase and then we're going to leave, right? So they don't help Jamie Foxx. They take Tom Cruise's briefcase and they start walking away. Tom Cruise has finished his hit and he spots them taking his briefcase. And literally, this is the line he says to these guys. He stops them. He's like, "Yo, homie, that my briefcase?" And the guys turn around and they're like, "Yeah, it's your fucking briefcase. Oh, you want this fucking?" And then they come up and they're pulling guns out, right? And Tom Cruise is like, "Whoa, hold up." He's he has his hands up, he's surrendering. He's like, "Oh, whoa, hold up. We don't need no trouble here," or whatever. They come real close to him. And literally, guys, this scene is not sped up. It is not sped up. There is behind the scenes footage of how fast Tom Cruise was able to do this. In literally like maybe 2 seconds, he goes from having his hands raised to reaching to his left side, pulling his gun out, shooting the one guy twice, right? But he shoots them from his hip, right? So he doesn't fully extend his arm. Right. So hold on. Let me come back on the screen here so I can kind of illustrate for you guys. Okay. So he's like this, right? He's like, whoa, hold up. We don't need no trouble. And like I said, literally in 2 seconds, I'm going to slow-mo this so I don't lose control. He's like, this is what happens in 2 seconds, how fast it is, like this. Let me point the camera down a little further. There we go. So in 2 seconds, let me point the camera back up here. I'm excited. Like this movie, I love this movie. It's so intense. It's from Michael Mann, the guy that did Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. That should be good. Yeah, it looks like it's angled right. Okay. In 2 seconds, that's what he does. That's how fast Tom Cruise trained to remove his gun and shoot. I think it's 5 bullets total. He shoots 2 into the guy and then 2 more, and then he finishes them off with another one. Look that scene up. If you look nothing else up tonight, look that scene up. Type in Tom Cruise, yo, homie, that my briefcase. It's going to blow your fucking mind. Make sure your volume's all the way up because, like the gunshots are super loud and everything. Tom Cruise is fucking badass. This is the thing. This is the stuff that I hate, that he is a Scientologist because can you imagine if he wasn't a Scientologist? I'm pretty sure this entire room would be covered in Tom Cruise posters. Easy. All right, guys, let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat room. Whew, Collateral, man, it just gets me. It just gets me going. Aaron says Palmer and I both can't see not Leaf Chapman's comments, but we can see Leaf Chapman's comments. I did not know that movie existed. Captain K-Bob, yeah, dude, that is an intense film. It's an intense film. Collateral. Collateral is next on my Michael Mann watches. Only seen Heat so far, and it's a 10 out of 10. Yes. Okay, so that's interesting because I have not seen Heat. So that's interesting. I've seen Collateral, which I think is a 10 out of 10, and I haven't seen Heat. And then you've seen Heat, which you think is a 10 out of 10, and you haven't seen Collateral. So I think we need to do a little switcheroo here. Yeah, Collateral. Whew. Oh, Tom Cruise. One of his very, very few villain roles, and he's so good. Such an iconic look too. That suit, the little kind of gray beard he has going on, and the gray hair. Crazy. And the ending of that movie. Oh, I'm not spoiling it. The ending of Collateral. So cool. So cool. Demetrius, I love this film. This is in my top 3 Cruise films. Edge of the seat experience the first time I saw it. Demetrius, You might be my twin brother. You might be my twin brother because that's in my that is my number 3. So here we go, guys. Can anyone? All right. So for the last 2, right? So we're in the top 2. What do you guys think my top 2 Tom Cruise films are? There's a lot left. There's a lot left. What do you think my top 2 are? Let's see. Give you guys a second here to give your guesses. Michael Mann, man. Yeah, he also did Ali with Will Smith. Not one of his finest achievements, from my understanding. Just waiting to see if anyone has any guesses. Plus, giving my voice a little bit of a rest. Aaron says, I think your number 2 is Magnolia. Okay. What about my number 1? I think your number 1 is Eyes Wide Shut. All right. Anyone else? Guesses? Send them in. Send them in. Bring it on. Imagine if I just swig the water around and then just spit it at the camera. Like, what? What? Is Eddie okay? What the hell? Someone go check Eddie. Make sure he's okay. All right. I guess no one else is participating. Oh, Leaf. I couldn't see Leaf Chapman either. All right. So, Aaron, you think number 2 is Magnolia. Number 1 is Eyes Wide Shut. Here we go, guys. Number 2. Drum roll, please. Number 2 is Eyes Wide Shut. The very last film from the great Stanley Kubrick, my second favorite filmmaker of all time, behind Stanley Kubrick, behind James Cameron. This is one of the more divisive films in his filmography, which you can clearly see represented by that Rotten Tomatoes score, 75%. Most Kubrick films are in the upper 80s or even 90s. Eyes Wide Shut is very controversial for a bunch of reasons. One, because Kubrick died before he was able to really deliver a finished product. He was infamous for consistently cutting his films even after they were in theaters. But he died before he was able to do that. So Warner Brothers had to kind of go in and finish it for him. So a lot of people argue that this is an unfinished film. I kind of agree, and then at the same time, I kind of believe that, you know, for the most part, it's like 95% Kubrick. You know what I mean? Which is interesting because on the poster, you'll notice, like on the little poster, Cruise, Kidman, Kubrick. As far as I know, every other film that Kubrick ever released, if it said his name, it always said Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. You know what I mean? If they included his name. Eyes Wide Shut is the only one that only does Kubrick. And I think that's to signify that it's not a 100% completely finished film. But this movie is like, I've talked about this movie, I feel like on some other live stream, but man, this movie is like living a dream. You know what I mean? It's so hallucinogenic. You don't know if anything is real, if everything is real, if some shit's fake and some shit's real. You don't know what the hell is going on. Basically, the film revolves around Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, who were married at the time of filming this. So that's interesting. They were really married in real life, and they played a couple. She reveals to him that she has, she's had thoughts of being with another man. And that basically, for some people that doesn't mean a whole lot, because like one of the common criticisms of this film that I see is people are like, wait, hold on. Her telling him that she's only imagined because it never actually happened, that's how they sort of justify it. Because she imagined being with another man, he got that jealous and he went off on this adventure. Hey, look, you know what? Some people don't want to hear that. Some people, don't want to hear their significant other that they love say, hey, I've imagined being fucked by some other guy. Okay, just so you know. Like, what? Like, some people don't want to hear that. And it's completely justified. but that's the basic premise of this movie. He goes on like a psychosexual adventure throughout the night in New York City. He gets involved in this like cult, this like orgy scene. Like it's one of the most infamous from the film. There's a giant orgy scene, which, by the way, if you've never seen Eyes Wide Shut, make sure you are watching the unrated version of the film, because you will not get, if you watch the rated R version, you're going to get the Warner Brother edit. And that basically means that they felt like they couldn't show the entire orgy scene without getting an NC-17 rating. So they inserted digital people to cover some of the explicit action. And that's just like, fucking around with Kubrick's vision. So watch the unrated version. You'll get the complete Eyes Wide Shut experience. It's incredible. There's actually even a fan cut of this film, which takes off like 40 minutes of this film. This film is pretty long. It's like 2 hours, 45 minutes. And the fan cut takes it down to like a solid 2 hours. It's called Eyes Wide Cut. And then that's the website, Eyes Wide Cut, and you can watch the fan cut, and it's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, he takes out some stuff that, yeah, I completely understand why you took that out. This film feels like there's some fat on it. You know what I mean? And that's partly because Kubrick wasn't able to finish the edit of it. So that is my number 2, Eyes Wide Shut. I just love it so much. It's just, it's just Jesus Christ. Eyes Wide Shut. Oh, man. What are you guys talking about here? It's definitely a diamond film. I reckon it's Eyes Wide Shut or Mission Impossible, Captain K-Bob with the Germex. I think the very last line in this film is a hilarious way to end Kubrick's career. Anyone who has seen it will know what I mean. Right? Yeah. It's such a, like you said, the line just comes out of nowhere. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a very interesting way to end this film and his career. It is the very last line ever uttered in a Kubrick film. Oliver Mercer says, I reckon Valkyrie is number 1, or The Last Samurai. Ooh. All right, guys. Well, look, guys, we made it. We made it to number 1. This is my all-time favorite Tom Cruise film. And just to recap, before we get to number 1, we're going to go through the cards here for anyone that just is catching up to here. Number 10 was Cocktail. Number 9 was Tropic Thunder. Number 8, Rock of Ages. Number 7, A Few Good Men. Number 6, Minority Report. Number 5, Jerry Maguire. Number 4, Edge of Tomorrow. Number 3, Collateral. Number 2, Eyes Wide Shut. And my number 1 Tom Cruise film, the one that literally topples every other thing I've ever seen him do. This is like, if someone tells me they've never seen a Tom Cruise film, I'm like, okay, I don't know how you've managed to do that. But if you can, watch this one, because I think you're going to, because I think with Tom Cruise, it's good to start high, and then with the rest of his films, either stay at that level or slightly below that level, or, kind of dip down with like Cocktail or something, but start really high. Arguably, the best thing that he has ever done, which is sorry, I just wanted to keep the suspense going. Sorry, guys. Here, one more time. Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia. And I don't know how Erin is reacting right now, but I imagined she might have just kind of either kind of yelled out loud, like, yeah, or you might have done something like that, because I know how much you love Magnolia. And I got to say, I love it just as much. I think Magnolia is so hard to describe, because first of all, it's a 3+ hour film. So strap in, get ready. But it is a film that does not feel like 3 hours, because you get so lost in these characters. This is one of those films, because there are a few films that I can think of. This is one of those films that has multiple characters, and the movie is telling multiple different stories, And then somehow they all kind of come together at the end. And literally, I mean, well, first of all, look at the rating, 83 from the top critics and then 89 from audiences. So everybody really, for the most part, loved this film. Tom Cruise's character, guys. Tom Cruise's character in this film, you could argue is a villain, but holy shit, is this guy, I mean, you talk about an arc, like talk about a character arc that Tom Cruise goes through with this. So I'm going to kind of talk about some spoilery stuff here. So if you've never seen Magnolia, wait until this card, right? This title card, wait until that disappears, and then all the spoiler talk is going to be over with. But if you have seen it, or if you don't mind some spoiler talk, keep it up and, you know, keep the volume up. His character is, at the beginning of this film, arguably one of the most despicable characters in terms of just the way he talks that I've ever seen put on a film. Instantly, the moment we meet him, I hate him. Like, I genuinely fucking hate him. He is basically a, oh geez, I don't know how you would say like what he is, he's trying to sell this product that he has created. And it all revolves around women being submissive to men. And his tagline in this film that he says, I think multiple times, if not at least once, definitely once, but maybe more, he consistently says, respect the cock. And it's just, you watch this and you're thinking to yourself, man, how much of this performance is a performance? Is this actually Tom Cruise? Like, is this how he is in real life? He's so despicable. As the film progresses, obviously, he goes through a character arc, because if you look at this poster that we have right here, you'll see Tom Cruise in the middle right. Right above him, you'll see an old man that looks like he's on like some kind of a bed, and then you'll see some guy hovering over him. The guy hovering over him is Philip Seymour Hoffman. But the old man, that is Tom Cruise's father in the film. And they have a really estranged relationship. Tom Cruise has never been close with his father. And guys, Aaron, specifically, I'm talking to you specifically, but to everyone. I don't know about you, Aaron, but at the end of the film, when he goes and finally visits his father, you know, obviously my eyes are glued to the screen on first viewing, right? My eyes are just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, because everything that's been building up to it, right? And he sits down next to him, right? And he's not, you know, really paying much attention to him or whatever. You know, he's kind of shit talking him, you know, telling him how much of a prick he was and how much he doesn't fucking care if he, you know, fucking dies, whatever. And then as that scene progresses, and Tom Cruise's character, who I really apologize. If I'm being completely honest, I forgot the character's name. But Tom Cruise's character, as that scene progresses, and the walls that he has built up around him with this estranged father's and his relationship, you know, those walls, as he starts to let those walls come down, because he realizes this is going to be the last time he will talk to him. And he breaks the fuck down. Tom Cruise breaks down. This is his father that is about to die, that he has never really actually been close with. But he realizes, this is my father. And he wanted to be close with him. He wanted that relationship. You know, you could argue because of this relationship, that is why Tom Cruise became the character he is. He breaks down, and I broke down during that scene where he is just, I got to pull it up. Excuse me while I, do this. I got to pull it up and play the audio for you guys just really quickly, because my words cannot do this justice. So, Tom Cruise, Magnolia, scene. Let me see what pops up with that. Yep. This is it right here. Right here, guys. Right here.
You don't look that bad. You prick. Cocksucker, that's what we used to like to say, right? Cocksucker. You are, you cocksucker, Earl. It hurts, doesn't it? Huh? You in a lot of pain? She was in a lot of pain. Right to the end, she's in a lot of pain. I know, because I was there, Earl. You didn't like illness, though, do you? I was there. She waited for your call. For you to come. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry for you. You cocksucker, I know you can hear me. I want you to know that I hate your fucking guts. You can just fucking die, you fuck. And I hope it hurts. I fucking hope it hurts. God damn it, you fucking asshole. Oh God, you fucking asshole, don't go away, you fucking asshole, don't go away, you fucking asshole. Oh God, don't go away, you fucking asshole.
So, okay, so just to give you guys that, okay, so that is the scene, and if you've never seen the film, obviously that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you, but that is just such a powerful scene, right? I mean, that realization of it's one life, it's one life, it's one life, one life, and he wasted it. He was not a father to him. That's why he was like, you cocksucker, right? That's what you like to say, cocksucker. You fucking cocksucker. I know you can hear me. And then he just breaks down because as much as he hates him, he loves him. And he's about to lose him. And he just loses it. And I'm going to come back here. There we go. We're back. You know, I've seen that movie so many times that, you know, obviously you start to get numb to it. And it only if I were to watch the entire film from start to finish would I cry again. But guys, I got to tell you, when that scene happened, I lost it. I lost it. Because I related not entirely to that degree, but I related to it. You know what I mean? More so just the idea of losing somebody. And I can't imagine, you know, because I have a pretty good relationship with my parents. I can't imagine having a bad relationship with your parents and, you know, not wanting to let them go. Tom Cruise. That is his greatest performance. Just so you guys know, I can't see the chat right now. I just want to focus on this, and then we'll go to the chat and we'll round out this live stream. That's his greatest performance. He got nominated for Best Supporting Actor. As far as I know, he didn't win. Another shame. Aaron, you can confirm that for me. And I'm speechless. He's never been better. Never been better. Never been better. He came pretty darn close with Collateral in terms of a performance, but not to the degree of Magnolia. So that's my number one. Let's go to the chat room. Let's see what you guys are talking about in the chat room. Aaron says yes, 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 yes. All other rankings on this list are null and void. Magnolia is the only one that matters. Ollie says a definite masterpiece of cinema. Yes. Aaron says respect the cock and tame the cunt. That's right. He also says tame the cunt. That's right. Seduce and Destroy is his company. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I got to watch this movie again. I got to watch Magnolia again. Frank T.J. Mackey. How did I forget that? Thank you, Palmer. Frank T.J. Mackey. Tom Cruise channeled emotions from when his father died into that scene. Philip Seymour Hoffman's character's reaction in the movie is his real reaction to the raw emotion Tom Cruise channeled. Can you imagine being on set that day? Wow. Because we know how deep, Tom Cruise gets into his roles. I can't imagine what it was like the day they filmed that. Now, Aaron, you can also confirm for me, because I don't know, did they film that multiple times? Or was that sort of like, because you'll hear actors that have to do something like that, right? That'll say, look, I'm going to give this my all, but I'm only going to do it once. Because you can't make me get back to that place again. I'm not going to be able to get back to that place again. And something's telling me Tom Cruise might have said that to Paul Thomas Anderson, where he was like, look, PT, I have no problem doing this scene. I'm going to give it my fucking all. You just need to make sure those cameras are filming and they're pointed at me and you're going to get the shot. Because if not, that's it. So can you confirm that for me? Do you know about that? Because I can't imagine having to do that multiple times. I can't imagine, Jesus Christ. I'm not sure if they filmed it multiple times, but the take used is definitely the first take. Interesting. All right. Well, literally Aaron Harris, correct me if I'm wrong, Magnolia is not only your favorite Tom Cruise movie, granted it's the only one you've seen, but it's your favorite movie, like your favorite film of all time. So Magnolia is a fucking masterpiece, and it's my favorite Tom Cruise film. Now, when it comes to Paul Thomas Anderson, is it my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film? Well, I'm a little hesitant to say yes, because I have not seen every Paul Thomas Anderson film. The two that I'm thinking could potentially take that from Magnolia would be either Boogie Nights or The Master, especially The Master, because it is sort of involved with Scientology. But so far to date, I've only seen Magnolia and Punch Drunk Love. And I really love Punch Drunk Love. But if I was being completely honest with myself, I think Magnolia is right above Punch Drunk Love. But Punch Drunk Love with Adam Sandler, that's another great film. I'm not big on There Will Be Blood. I don't know if that's a shocker. I didn't like There Will Be Blood. So, yeah. Anyways, that's that. So we're just going to hang out for maybe 5 more minutes. We're going to try to keep this thing right under 2 hours. So it's my favorite film of all time. No other movie, even in my top 5, comes close to it. That's awesome. May nothing ever top it. But don't ever say nothing ever will. I definitely learned that lesson where for the longest time, my favorite film of all time was 127 Hours with James Franco. When I left that theater, I was like, that's my favorite film of all time. Nothing's going to change it. Nothing. No other film is going to ever come close. And then I rewatched The Terminator. So don't ever say nothing will ever top your favorite film, because something might. But for the time being, Magnolia will be your favorite. Boogie Nights is my personal favorite PTA. Interesting. I've never seen it. I'm really itching to see Boogie Nights. All right, Demetrius, here we go. His top 10. Top 10. Number 10, Minority Report. Number 9, A Few Good Men. Number 8, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Number 7, Mission Impossible Fallout. Number 6, Valkyrie. Number 5, The Last Samurai. Number 4, Edge of Tomorrow. Number 3, Mission Impossible 2. Wow. Number 2, Collateral. Number 1, Rain Man. All right, so something that's... All right, let me look at this here. You have 3 Mission Impossibles on your top 10 list. And if you'll notice, not a single Mission Impossible ended up on my top 10. I like them. I really do like Mission Impossible. I love those, especially from 4 on. But I don't know. Just something, maybe because they're just action films, you know? I mean, his performance, it's nothing special. It's only special because we know he's doing a lot of those stunts, right? The movies themselves are incredible. Tom Cruise, he's running, breaking his ankle. It's admirable. It's mind-blowing. Climbing the fucking tallest building in the world, hanging off of a fucking airplane, doing insane shit. Not taking that away from the guy. But the performance, and that's really like one of the big critiques that this list went through. It's like performance, you know what I mean? And even something with Cocktail. So because I know someone's going to be like, but hold on, you had Cocktail on there. Yes. That's sort of guilty pleasure. I had to have one guilty pleasure on here, right? At least. And then Rain Man, you have, well, first of all, you have Mission Impossible 2 at your number 3. And isn't that like the one that everyone hates out of the Mission Impossibles? That's the one from John Woo. That's interesting, Demetrius. And then Rain Man. Something that because I have seen Rain Man. I think Tom Cruise is amazing in that film. Seriously. I mean, if I was doing a top 15, I think Rain Man would have been 11. But so much attention got put on Dustin Hoffman. And I think I think Dustin Hoffman's performance is overrated. I think that's one of the overrated performances in cinema. I don't think, there's nothing special about it. But Tom Cruise is amazing in it. Yes. Interesting. Rain Man's a good one. I was surprised to see it's absent on Eddie's list. Yeah. It would have been number 11. Aaron, I'm so grateful that my first viewing of Magnolia was at the Enslin Theater in Maitland on the big screen in 35 millimeter. Aw, jealous. You actually saw it on fucking film. Ugh. Yeah. Jesus Christ, Magnolia. Whew. And the ending of that movie. I mean, you talk about Eyes Wide Shut ending weird. I definitely did not see the ending of Magnolia coming. Although upon, repeated viewings, it's sort of, hinted at, but you don't think that's going to start falling. Although I'm sure, I haven't dug deep into the hidden meanings of everything. I'm sure there's multiple things that Aaron could school me on when it comes to the hidden messages of Magnolia and why that shit is happening. But yeah, that's Tom Cruise, everybody. That's Tom Cruise. Love the guy as an actor. 100% disagree with his choice of being a Scientologist because the policies of Scientology are horrible, and especially the disconnection one. And if he is made to abide by them, like he should be, because just because you're Tom Cruise, Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, David Miscavige, right up there. If it's true, that means he disconnected from his daughter and has not seen her in multiple years. And is essentially, he's doing, if it's all true, and he's not sneaking behind Scientology's back and seeing his daughter, he is essentially the father at the end of Magnolia. And when he's on his deathbed, she is going to come to him. She'll be Tom Cruise's character. She'll be Frank. And she'll look at him and she'll go, "You were never there." I'm not going to cry for you. Cocksucker. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. So art is sort of imitating life in a way. So anyways, that's what's going on with, Aaron says, Enzian, not Enslin, LOL. And it was also my first PTA. Yes, LOL for Mission Impossible 2. I love the opening with the climbing and the motorcycle chase, but love to this movie goes to the master Hans Zimmer for his score. Interesting. Yeah. MI2 is the black sheep of the Mission Impossible films, right? So odd. And then, has anyone seen Eric Andre's Black Scientologist skit? I have not, Palmer. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I am going to, when I get off here, I'm going to look that up. Eric Andre's Black Scientologist. I'm going to look that up. All he had to say was Scientology or Scientologist, and I'm hooked. I'm also going to be watching a couple more of the Leah Remini episodes when this ends. I'm still on season 1, but such a good show. I love that show with Leah Remini. Anyways, guys, I could ramble on and on and on, and we would go for like 2.5 hours, but I don't want to for this one. So thank you guys so much for being here on this Sunday night where we talked some Tom Cruise, some top 10, some Scientology, and I thought it was a blast. I had a blast doing it with you guys. Obviously, all the information down below is the information you need to know. All the social media, where you can find the podcast, which, speaking of the podcast, a brand new episode is releasing tomorrow. So I hope you guys are excited for that. It's going to be episode 57. So look forward to that. It's going to be a little bit of a different one, but either way, it's going to be a new episode. Look forward to it on Apple, Google, and Spotify. And also below there are the links to my Patreon if you want to join, if you want to support it. I only have one tier. And my official merchandise store if you want to get my logo on like a shirt or a cup or whatever. If you're into that shit, go ahead. All the links are down there. I agree with your Scientology opinion on Cruise. Thank you, Demetrius. Yes. So anyways, guys, it has been a fucking blast. And let me tell you something. I will be back this week. This Wednesday. That's right. You heard it here first, everybody. This Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 101 at 7, I will be live, and it's going to be a very different top 10. Do I tell you what it is? I think I'll tell you what it is because I'm excited for this one. So you guys know I don't want to be known as just like the movie guy or, whatever. In these past few top 10 lists, we've done game shows, TV shows, top 10 Tom Cruise. So I kind of want to get away from the entertainment. I kind of want to get away from all that stuff and do a really obscure kind of out of left field top 10. So this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this channel, we're going to be talking my and yours as well in the chat room. Top 10 pet peeves. Okay? Top 10 pet peeves that I have. Hopefully you guys share them. If not, we're going to have a nice friendly debate unless Leaf joins, and then we might have to kick his ass out. But that's what it's going to be this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Top 10 pet peeves right here on this channel. So it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be very different, and hopefully you guys are down for that. I know I am. Thank you, Eddie. Nice to see you. Take care and hope for another Terminator video. Yeah, see? I'm the fucking Terminator guy till the day I die. God damn it. No, it's okay. It's okay. If that's what you want, maybe that's what you'll get, or maybe I'll do a live stream talking, I don't know, something about Terminator. I don't know. I don't know. Or if I do a Q&A or something, there's always room for Terminator. That's all I'm going to say. Also go back in the podcast because I have a bunch of episodes from, all the Terminator 101 stuff. So we're going to try and get more people watching these streams for you soon, buddy, says Aaron right there. Oh, guys, we didn't virtual fist bump. We almost missed it. Can't do that. Here we go, guys. If you're still around, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right there. We almost forgot the virtual fist bump. Holy shit. Thank you for reminding me. Ollie, stay safe, dude. Thank you, man. You stay safe as well. Stay positive. Always have something to look forward to. Don't ever forget that. So anyways, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy these last 2 little cards that I have. Obviously got to end the stream on a high note. So this was a blast, guys. Seriously, this was such a blast. And thank you to my moderators, Aaron and Palmer. You guys are amazing. And thank you to everyone that watched in the chat room. You guys are amazing as well. And having said all of that, guys, I can't see the chat anymore, so I'm sorry. But I will see you very, very soon this Wednesday for some more 101.